we care about is our sport. Having played 19 years in the major leagues and 23 years of professional baseball, and I've been around a lot of guys in a lot of different clubhouses. And I've shared this with a few of your fellow Assemblymen in the Senate. There's a big rule that's right on every single clubhouse door. Rule 21 in Major League Baseball. And they make a big deal of making sure that they read it profoundly by somebody in the front office to make sure that you don't bet on baseball, because you will have a life-death sentence and you'll never get back into the game. And they make it very, very profound, and they make it scary on every player that's around the world. We have players from Latin countries, Far East, every part of the United States. And it's very clear to us. This is passionate for me, and I hear you, Mr. Chairman, and I know the deep-rooted anger with the fight and the money and the sports and the leagues and the owners that they fought this, because it was a federal law that said you couldn't bet legally unless you were in Las Vegas. It becomes more of a profound risk, potentially. You and I are teammates now, Mr. Caputo, and we're in town playing the Phillies tomorrow night. We fly in from Cincinnati, and we got a day game on Sunday. And instead of just you and I getting in a cab or a car and we drive to Atlantic City because we like to roll the dice and we like to play gambling and we like cards. That's what was able to be played. But now, you and I, a couple other teammates, after we have a nice dinner, we go over to Atlantic City and we can bet on sports. In particular, our sport, because we're playing the Phillies tomorrow. It is just so much more vulnerable. I'm not here about the money. I don't care about the money. I don't get paid for this. I'm not part of this. I'm not a lawyer. But I do know this. Having been in those clubhouses, there's an additional vulnerability to all of the players. The minor league thing is a huge factor. These kids make $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month. You're playing for the Trenton Thunder, you've been in the minor leagues for 6 years. The big leagues is a pipe dream. And you have a couple buddies that can bet on your game, or even worse, the Borgata has a product that says that Leiter's going to throw a first pitch ball tonight over at Citizens Bank Park. By the way, I threw a lot of balls, so don't even notice that. About 45% of my pitches were balls. And there's a line that at the Borgata that Leiter's could ball a strike. That's a product that they may come up with. Benign enough, my buddy says, you know, listen, just throw a ball. I'm not going to throw the damn game. And he throws a bet in Atlantic City, but we didn't know because there's no collaboration. What Brian was trying, what we're trying to allude to, with Sands in Ben Salem, or where's it, Bethlehem? Within 3-hour drive, you can make 5 different bets. If I was Borgata or if I was Atlantic City, I would be damn concerned making lines on this because there's no collaboration of other casinos. In a 4-hour drive, I can have my buddy make a $5,000 bet in Atlantic City, $5,000 in Philly, over in Ben Salem, go over to Yonkers, I don't know, go up to Mohegan Sun, and I got a $500,000 bet to throw a ball. Who's watching this? Where's the data? You're right, call the FBI. But these guys have additional back office. I don't know about the money. I honestly don't care about the money, Mr. Chairman. I do care about my sport. I care about all sports. I don't want the sports to eventually become what we view as WWF. Or, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful to other sports. No, it's not. But I'll tell you why. And they were adamant about not putting a sports team. And now I know the Raiders are going there, and you got the Knights, the hockey team. The Bud Selig, for years as a players association. I was a player rep for over 10 years. I'm in Bud Selig executive subcommittee. I was on the union side, and I was on the table across to the owners. Later, after I retired, as the commissioners asked me to do so now, give some insight what it's like to be a baseball player potentially being compromised. It's not, Mr. Commissioner. You know why? Mr. Chairman, because in order to make a bet, if we fly into Los Angeles and I want to bet on a game, I got to fly over to Las Vegas, go in and get a ticket, because they don't even do it online. Now we're talking online. Forget about going to Atlantic City. Once all of these casinos have the app, I don't even have to go anywhere. I don't have to go over to OTB. I can bet in my locker room. Now, what's the compromise for a trainer or a masseuse or the equipment managers of watching a player X walk into the trainer room and talk to the trainer, and here comes the manager because his elbow hurts, because the closer's not going to pitch tonight, but the manager's not going to share that with the press if the closer for the Phillies is hurt for the next couple days? And now that kid could either A, go in front of a locker in a room at the Citizens Bank or Yankee Stadium or at Citi Field and put in a bet. It's elevated the compromise and the potential integrity of the game. And I know you're mad about the money. That's not
I'm
my...
not mad about
No,
that.
but that's not even my... I don't even...
It's not my money. I'm not mad about it.
Mr. Chairman, I don't even
I'm
care
mad
about...
about the state of New Jersey having...
I do too, and I want this state to have protections for the very thing that I'm talking about.
I respect your feelings.
There's a lot of minor league kids, and if you even want to just do a benign part of that, there's kids in the minor leagues, and I got a nephew who's now with the Phillies. He played in Lakewood. There's a lot of kids who'll never make it to the big leagues.
I respect your comments. I think you're sincere, and I think, you know, there are areas that can be discussed. All I'm saying, I want to be honest. We're not sure. This is not a charade here. This bill will not be amended here today. Okay? And I don't think it'll be amended on the 7th. That doesn't mean that you can't communicate and go further with this. I'm just telling you what the position is now. I'm not speaking for anyone else. This is my opinion that I don't see this bill changing between now and June 7th.